Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the big live stream. Thanks for joining me with the hippest trip on YouTube. We are going to get into some stuff here in a sec. Just want to make sure that did not just go across. You know what? I'm going to have to cancel this for a sec. I'm going to come back in here in a minute and you guys can jump in. Let me stop our streaming here. Something's not. Alright, let's see if this is working here. Am I back or not? You guys give me a sec and let me know if this is streaming or working. If you guys will give me some feedback, I would appreciate that. I had to stop the feed and start it again. Give me one sec, guys. I'm trying to figure something out. And don't know why this isn't working. One sec. Prepare broadcast. It should be going live. I don't know why it's not. Okay. Well, sorry to the folks on you now. I can't seem to get it to stream right. But hey, everybody. Let's see if I can try to get it to stream over there, but we got no help from any of this. Sorry guys, I'm still using new equipment here, and I am trying to get this stuff ready. So there we go. It says it's running, but I don't see it going. So alright, here we go. Let's see what happens here. Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Everything working all right? We're trying some new stuff here, and it seems like every time I try to improve this broadcast a little bit, there's this huge learning curve of trying to get the sound working right, trying to get it to stream to all different locations at once. And yeah, that's been a lot of crazy. So, oh no, someone says they think they're dying. Neater. You know, a lot of people have been sick lately. My mom went on this cruise, and there was something going around the cruise, and then she gave it to me, and I brought it back here, I think, and I haven't been able to shake it either. It's like a lung bronchitis, which I'm not usually that often a sick guy, but I haven't been able to shake this yet. It's getting better, but man, I can imagine if you were like immune compromised and, you know, like 80 or 90 years old, this would probably wipe you out. Some nasty stuff going around. So, I feel for you, Neater. Bree, nice to see you guys. And let's see, who did I miss here? I'm trying to get better at... oh, Ewok and Lava Girl. What's up, guys? And wake up. So, let me give you an idea what's going on. I'll wait a minute or two to explain my error. I have not been doing the smartest stuff, I guess, but it was to prove a point. So a while back, if you guys don't know what demonetization is, it's basically where YouTube deems your story not family friendly, so they won't stick any ads with it. And what that means is you don't get paid on ads. And now you've heard me and Unirock and Vegan Warrior and some other guys that I hang out with all complaining about it. And if you've watched YouTube, you know that YouTube has been in trouble the last 9 or 10 months with first a bunch of advertisers left. Now they're getting advertisers back, but they made like some ridiculous algorithm that basically goes across the board and just says everything's not friendly. And so anyone that's doing like anyone that's doing any sort of controversial news or anybody that talks about any sort of adult topics, they can get flagged right away from the algorithm, and it just doesn't work. So I was screwing around with YouTube, and I said, you know what, I'm going to make like the most non-offensive thing I can and dare YouTube to demonetize it. And I don't know if you guys remember that. It happened like a week or two ago. But it was me just putting up pictures of my cats. like pictures of kittens and stuff like that. And so let me show you what happened. So here's the screenshot of, this was a little while ago though when I put it up. So there wasn't that many views yet. But here's the picture. And then notice it says, demonetize this, YouTube, I dare you. And over here you will see the yellow. So YouTube demonetized the least offensive show I could think of. When you're getting paid, this is green. When it's yellow, it means it's not suitable for most advertisers. And you can review a request a review, but they won't do it until you hit 1,000 views. Now, I probably have 1,000 now. I haven't looked in a while, but I shot this the first day when this came out because I thought it was so ridiculous. So there you go, guys. I have been demonetized for the most unoffensive show you can think of. It really was just pictures of my cat. So, and I think I might have showed some pictures of some, I used to have fans of the show with kids, although I haven't seen them around in a while, but the kids would draw stuff and send them in, and I would show their little artwork of Cool Cat, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, so, whew, there we go. Wake Up News, he gets that on all of his videos. Yeah, well, I think because you have the word news in the title, basically they flagged anything that's news, anything that's controversial news, at least. If you talk about killings or a war or bombings or, any sort of natural disaster or shootings, any of those things, you get flagged out because advertisers don't want to be associated with that. Now, not all advertisers. Here's what I'm told. I'm told that YouTube is getting better about allowing some advertisers, like some people that want to advertise in front of that. So I'm told that's being done, but I don't know if it is. So that's it. Yeah. So cats equals demonetized. I know, Lava Girl, that's so wrong. It's so wrong because cats run the internet. I've got a whole story about how cats run the internet. I need to do that. I need to make it into a actual broadcast because it's a written story, which is nothing new. I mean, everybody knows cats run the internet, but I've got a pretty funny story about it. So that's the deal with that. In case you just came in, I dared YouTube to demonetize a story about kittens and puppies I did, and I think we were just showing pictures of cute animals, and they did demonetize. No idea why. And the thing is I could probably appeal it and win that, but the point is they never tell you why. They just flag it, and you hit, challenge this, and some person has to manually review it at YouTube, and they don't even tell you why you get demonetized, or it'd be nice if you could learn. If they were like, oh yeah, at minute 4 you showed a picture of a Palestinian kid getting blown up or something, oh, okay, well, maybe that news is not allowed here, for family friendly. Now, to be fair, YouTube's not knocking the channel off. It's just saying you're not getting paid anymore. And for years I did YouTube for no money, but I've decided to make it a career that I take it serious when my stuff doesn't get monetized. It hurts. And we've been talking about this a lot over the last few months. I've been talking about different ways to make this channel work so I can still have a career at it. And people had mentioned Patreon, and people had mentioned donations and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to read here real quick. So basically everybody's just talking about cats. So I didn't miss a whole lot. Yeah, they do, Robin, I assume they're going to scan the keywords and the description, obviously. But I think they also, have the ability to scan what you're talking about to a degree. They're not that great with it yet, but I don't know what I mentioned. Maybe just putting the word demonetization flags it, that you're not allowed to complain. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So that's what happens. And unfortunately, it takes away my motivation to make videos. If I can't make a living at it, then I'm going to have to go, out in the real world and start wasting my time out there plugging away. See, there's a couple of things, and I'm gonna get a little deep on y'all in a minute here. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. You know, while I'm doing this solo, I can't read and type, so I'm just going to make sure. Um, no, Texas Telespecial says, did they demonetize all your stuff? No, no, no. They've only demonetized about, I've got about 500 videos, I think, 450 or 500, something like that, and they've probably demonetized 20 of them. But they've been demonetizing everything coming out recently. And to the point that I tried to challenge YouTube and say, I dare you to demonetize this, and it was the most unoffensive thing. It was pictures of my cats. Unless cats aren't, you know, like maybe it's offensive, I don't know. I mean, look at this. This is my cat doing a computer block. He's standing in front of the computer saying, no, you will not. Look at this. That's what I got in trouble for. This cat right here, cool cat. Cool cat ruined everything. So, there you go. Alright, so we'll catch back up to that in a little while. If you guys missed that, I got demonetized for putting up pictures of kittens and talking about my cat. Oh, Jacob Israel's on here? Let's see. Hey, Jacob. Did he show up? I don't see anyone. Jacob, if you want to come on, if you're here, give me a holler. You want to come on and talk about it, you're free. Just say yes, and I'll shoot you out a quick invite here. You can come up. I'm on. So what happened, Jacob, if you're just tuning in, is I basically made, just as a test, the most unoffensive story I could, and it did get demonetized. I can show you it again here. So here's the story. Now this is the first day it was up, so it doesn't have a lot of hits, but there's the story, and there's the yellow button, and it was all pictures of just like kittens and stuff. So there you go. There you go. Oh geez, where did it go? I lost you. There we go. All right, so hopefully everything's back to where we're at. And Jacob, I need to watch your new story. It looks interesting. I haven't had a chance to get over there and watch it yet. So let's see. The other things I want to talk about is we want to get into real life and what's going on. Obviously, you guys know I've been traveling, kind of ran out of money, and also, you know, I still have this place in New Hampshire, and I needed to secure it for the winter. I came home and it like snowed the next day, so I've been trying to winterize this place and get it ready and take out all the stuff in the yard. And my poor garden got killed in the snow before I got a chance to harvest most of the stuff, so that was pretty crappy. I was about 2 days late for that. So when you're driving, though, I was had a lot of time to think. And, you know, my life's been kind of in a lazy free fall for a long time, where I haven't really been on top of my game as far as, you know, just trying to travel, figure out what to do, relationship issues, life issues. And I hope some of you guys can relate to that, where sometimes you just hit a circle where you're not really going anywhere. You're just chasing your tail. So I just wanted to, I don't want to ignore your comments here. Then I'm going to get back into it here. Oh, okay, you guys are just talking to each other. So, anyway. So, what happened, though, is a while back I just got so annoyed with it, and I was like, you know, screw it. Every time I try to set goals, I get disappointed and mad, and because I don't hit them like I used to. And, you know, when I was a young man and hungry and full of testosterone and energy, I was, I crushed everything I did. Like, you know, I was in practice. I crushed my practice. I did great at it. I did great at, because I was very, very intensely focused and had a lot of energy. But as you kind of get fat and out of shape and then just lazy, that drive goes away. Now, I've started to get back in shape, and it's coming back, which is really good. And it's a lot to do with your physical and how you're eating, too, is your energy level really goes up and down with that. So you just kind of been like, I started making an effort, and for me it started something small, because what happens is I'll go through this pattern where I'm like, all right, I'm going to change 100 things. And maybe you guys do this like New Year's Eve. You know, everybody has their New Year's Eve goals, and then they do this pattern where they go crazy New Year's Eve and try to do, you know, go to the gym 4 times a week when they haven't gone in 5 years, and you last for a few weeks and then you burn out. So what I decided to do was to pick something small. pick one thing I can control and something small that will make the biggest impact. And I've always, because of my metabolism's kind of screwed up, the only thing that really works well for me is fasting. And I've tried like low calorie diets. I've tried to go way up on my exercise. I haven't been able to maintain any of that stuff. All I can really do is, like, I lose 20 pounds and then I get burned out on it and I stop. But fasting's always been something I've done my adult life that works. I don't do enough of it. So what I started doing was intermittent fasting. What this means is I eat every other day. There's different ways to do intermittent fasting. You can do, some people only eat, certain hours a day. Some people do really long fast. They'll do, 5, 10, and you guys have seen me do like a 10-day fast on here. So those are really good for health issues. But intermittent fasting, it's kind of a good compromise for me because it's just like one day. So it's a little uncomfortable that day, and you get hungry certain hours, and then you just keep busy, and by the next day you can eat what you want again. So that seems to really do well for me. But here's what I'm going to get into: is that if you could control one thing, you can start building your willpower back up. And what that means is that by conquering one thing over and over, you start feeling better, and it starts building willpower in other areas of your life. So as I started fasting, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start setting goals again and doing some stuff, because there was a while where I was just so frustrated and annoyed. I was just like, I'm just going to live for the moment. Screw doing anything, because goals just, like, when you set them and you don't hit them, it just makes you feel bad, that sort of thing. But even though I was living for the moment, I did feel a lot more stress than I need to, because financially I'm not where I want to be, my health's not where I want to be, and my love life's not where I want it to be. Like, nothing's really where I want it to be. So even if you're trying to live for the moment, there's still some sense of you could be doing better, and it's hard to be happy when you know you could do better. Now, that being said, I'm trying to do a balance. And I started, one of the fastest ways to really turn your life around, when I used to be in business, right? You guys don't know me as a businessman, but, I was very successful when I was young because I was driven. I pretty much I had an amazing practice at a very young age. Like I said, I think I had billed over $1 million before I was 30. Nobody does that. You have to just really be on fire to do that sort of turnover for a young doctor. And the way I did it is I went old school and actually hand wrote out goals. There's something that happens when you hand write that doesn't work when you type. And I know that sounds strange and like a little thing, but it seems to fire into your brain differently. So I have been doing goal lists again every day. And since I got back, now I haven't been doing that long. But what you do is you take a sheet, you put down 10 goals, and some are short term, some are long, but you write them every single day by hand, over and over, and you change them out as your goals go. So you put a couple small ones in, like I've got a few YouTube goals I want to hit, my fasting, obviously, and playing the trumpet. I got to do some I got to get back to my trumpet. My face is starting to really not go well. I got to fix it. For you guys that don't know, I have nerve damage to my face, so one side doesn't work that well, and I use a trumpet as therapy, and I'm supposed to be playing it even though I'm not any good. I'm supposed to be playing it daily, and I have slacked. And after like a month or two, my face will start drooping. It's not very good, so I got to get back to that. Just simple goals like that. But I have bigger goals because, part of me, I'm getting to the age now. I'm 44, that I want to have a little more in my life than just like existing from day to day. If I'm deciding I'm going to homestead, then I'm going to homestead, and I'm going to blow it out and, go build a yurt or an earthship or something cool and get back into the farming. If I'm going to travel and do the world, then I'm going to do that. But my life has been so in limbo. I need to just pick one thing and go for it, because although experiencing life from day to day has been good, like a growing experience, I do feel like it has been way more stressful than if I'm focused. And I know that sounds strange, but you know, when you can't, like, there's a gas bill coming up, and we've got a big tank on the side of the house that I got to fill with gas because with kerosene, because I won't make it through the winter without heat. And just trying to figure out how to get that money for that bill. It's like, you know, you got to fill a whole tank full of probably $500-600 to fill that thing. And like something that shouldn't be a stressor, I should easily be able to make that, is a stressor because the way I live my life. Okay, so I've been ignoring you guys. Let me jump over for a sec and see what advice you guys have. Wake Up News. Do a single stream and I'll be there. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but if you want to jump on my stream, sure. Give me a holler. And Drunken Ewok, anytime you want to jump back on, you guys are welcome. You guys have been guests of the show. Okay, so there's people just talking about goals and trumpets, and no questions actually for me. Okay. So let me give you some. Oh, Kim says go within, Doc. That's right. And Mickey and me are the same age, apparently. All right, so what I want to say, though, is by doing this, by actually writing a list of 10 goals out every single day, it keeps your mind very focused on it. And, you know, there's all these self-help gurus, and most of it works. Like, you know, the Tony Robbins or the Brian Tracy stuff, or the I don't know, whoever your flavor is for your Zig Ziglar, or whatever your favorite self-help guru is, it all works. I've used it in my past to do really good, and whenever I get in a pinch, I kind of go back to some of the Brian Tracy stuff where you write the goals out every single day, and you pick. The other thing you got to do is pick the thing that you don't want to do and do it first. It's kind of like your old school, you know, when you didn't like vegetables as a kid, that you got to eat your vegetables before you can eat anything else on the plate. Kind of the same deal. You force yourself to do what you don't want to do first, and usually that thing is what will advance you the furthest. So it's the hardest thing to do, or the most uncomfortable. There's that old Southern saying, "Eat that frog." That, if you never heard that term, it means that if the worst thing you got to do every day is eat a live frog in the morning, then it helps not to look at it too long and just get it done. So, like, you know, although since I like animals, I'd never eat a live frog. I gotta think of something else to say. I don't know. Eat that broccoli, something like that people don't like. Eat that Brussels sprout. So the thing is, the point is on your list there's gonna be one major thing, and say, you know, it's exercise for you, that you just hate exercise and you got to get it done first thing. What happens is, if you do the major stumbling block first, then everything that advances you so much further to the next day toward your goals, and it just gets it out of the way. And a lot of people avoid pain, so they don't want to do. They'll procrastinate and do everything else on the list except the one thing that really mattered, that's hard to do. For me, mine is right now, currently, it's to finish some stories for my dad. My dad wrote a book, and I don't know if some of you guys have seen some of the chapters I've done, but I've got these stories that just take enormous amounts of editing and time, and I have been putting it off for like 3 months. I just got to finish it and do it. So that is on my top of my list, that this is going to happen hell or high water by Sunday. I'm going to have to get one of these stories out, so that'll happen. You know, some of them are obviously about fasting. I need to start exercising a little, but not, you know, I don't do, when you're overweight, you don't want to do hardcore exercise, it just kills your knees and blows your cartilage out. So I do like rebounding or walking. You know, rebounding inside. I got a little rebounder if it's too cold. That stuff helps. But really, the fasting is the #1 thing I can do. Oh, what's crazy? Okay, I'll give you guys a little science lesson here. Okay, before I go. Oh, Jacob Israel left. Oh, I miss you, Jacob. Oh, all right. Everybody's saying nice stuff. Stephen Richard once on your show. I don't know who Stevie Richard is, but if Jacob says it's cool. Oh, the wrestler. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, guys, thanks for the. Everybody says that it's good advice. All right, so no questions directly at me. Oh wait, one from Lava Girl. Definitely do that writing for your dad. Life's too short. Yeah, it's one of these things that I just got to get it done. My computer is like running on the last leg. I've got to do it so I can wipe my computer clean and get it working again. I'm running on like a 7-year-old computer, and I need to. You know, one of these that's going to be on my goal list. I'm going to make enough money to buy a computer so I can actually stream with you guys without it looking so bad. Oh, one of these things, real quick, before I dive back into this, could you guys tell me, I used to use a lot more light. So I'm going to turn on some light and tell me if this is clear. Like, I think the video moves smoother with light on, but I feel like that just washes me out big time. So tell me what you think about the light, if you like it with the light or without light. Which is better for you guys? With light or without light? Which one's better? You guys are saying better, but I don't know which one. The light? Alright. Alright. So, thank you for the feedback, guys. Alright, so some things you gotta know. When most of America, if you're on like a standard American diet of fast food and meaty products, eventually you'll probably get something called insulin resistance, which basically means that your cells don't process insulin the way they should, and it creates a problem where it gets very difficult to get rid of weight. And one of the big keys to know is if you eat and you feel sleepy afterward, you're probably insulin resistant. Like, you know, if food affects you, like, you should be able to eat and it shouldn't affect you at all. If you eat and you feel different after you eat, like sleepy, or you just want to sit on the couch for a while or something, you're probably insulin resistant. So now, what that means is a lot of different things, but one of the major things is that the one that's really dangerous is you have this stuff called insulin-like growth factor. And insulin-like growth factor 1 is, I'm going to try to simplify this. It's basically a substance that makes things grow in your body. So if you have a little piece of skin that's starting to grow, it becomes like a skin tag. So you'll notice anyone that usually has skin tags is insulin resistant. Those are from not processing insulin and too much of this stuff. What'll also grow is if you have dark spots, they can become moles. And the moles will start growing darker and bigger. And of course you'll start putting on fat and fat cells and stretch marks and cellulite and all that great stuff. But one of the nasty things it does is if you have, you know, you always have cancer cells and cells that aren't working right in your body, but it can make those cells grow a lot faster and bigger. So insulin-like growth factor is not our friend. It causes a lot of problems. One of the best ways to reverse it in its tracks and make it level out and go backwards is fasting. It doesn't mean juice fasting. It doesn't mean low-calorie fasting. It means like water fasting, not eating. You have to give your body so many hours a day, somewhere between 18 to 36 a day to cause that healing cycle to kick in, and it helps a lot. What studies show is it brings the insulin-like growth factor down to a controllable level. So I have been eating every other day for over a month, and one thing, so I've lost some weight. I probably lost like 20 pounds or something. I haven't really been on a scale. But one thing I thought was really interesting, I don't know if I can show this or not. But I had, let's see if I can, oh, there's probably too much light. I bring it in. Oh, I can't see it right there. My finger's touching right there. This mole appeared when I got fat. And now it has turned into a scab that's just going to drop off. And the same with that mole. All these little moles that appeared over the years of just being overweight are drying up and dropping off. They're turning to scabs. So it's crazy that it's showing me that the insulin growth factor is reversing, because that stuff is why you get those moles or skin tags. So I don't have any skin tags, but if I did, there's a good chance they'd probably be shriveling up and drying off and just dropping off, drying up. So it shows the power of fasting, that it can actually help you heal your skin and change your skin. It's pretty wild to see it happen, because, you know, most people think, oh, once you got a mole, you're stuck with a mole. But no, that the mole appeared after you're eating. Apparently, you can go backwards. So I've had a few already turn into scabs and drop off. So it's really interesting to see that happen. It's proof of what's going on the inside of my body, that it is starting to, I hate to use the word ungrow, but if insulin-like growth factor makes things grow, it's going the opposite direction. It's making everything shrink. So I'm pretty excited about that. That means that if I have cancer cells in my body, that they're probably shrinking, and all other damaged cells. When you fast, it gives your body a chance to catch up, clean house, and heal. So let me see what you guys are saying here. All right, got some of them. Sorry, I can't really read this too fast. Apple cider takes away skin tags. Yeah, you can treat skin tags from the outside, but, you know, why are they forming? You got to go deeper, like sticking Band-Aids and apple cider. It's not like you have a lack of apple cider in your body. It's just, why are you forming skin tags? And it's because your diet has created some sort of insulin resistance. So the problem exists that the day always fills up with time. Yeah, you always don't have enough time. I appreciate that, Reverend Doll, saying nice things. And everybody's bashing the American diet. Yes. So, oh, there's some nice comments from No Rand McGuire. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, Rena, you want to send me an email? That's fine. Let me get back to what's going on here. Okay. So let me explain that's going on. To tie this all back together, I've had a huge transition in my life. I know some of you guys have been through things like this, and you've sent me some very inspiring and nice emails. And so what... Hey, Leo, what's happening, my man? I love my nephew. Hi, Leo. Yeah, what this means is, let me break this down real simple. Your body only has so much energy. Say it has 100 points of energy a day, and it can only do so many things a day with that energy. When you eat and digest, sometimes during heavy digestion, it can take as much as 65 to 75% of your energy to break down food and to digest. This is why you fall asleep after you eat. It takes an enormous amount of energy if you're insulin resistant. Because you're using almost 3/4 of your energy points a day, you only have like 25% to run other stuff that's going on in your body if you're eating all day long. Americans eat 3 to 5 times a day, so you're constantly in a state of digestion. Because of that, your body doesn't get a chance to go into healing mode. Most of the time, you only really go into healing mode when you sleep. So you're supposed to sleep like long hours to have old cells die off and new ones get made, or repairings. If the cells aren't too bad, they'll do this thing, egophany, where they throw out dead organelles and keep that cell alive the best it can. Well, all that happens when you're not eating. So no other animal on Earth eats 3 to 5 times a day, every day, all day long. They go through periods where they find food and they gorge, and then they take off a day or two trying to find more food, and then they gorge. And they go through these days of gorging and taking off. Well, those days you take off are your healing days. You actually, if you've gone long enough, you can actually heal while you're awake if you're fasting. So what happens is your body will start to repair stuff and clean house. So think of it as, okay, think of fasting like this. I want to say hi to Leo again. Hi, guys. Oh, hey, Dave and Bill and Rachel. Thanks for joining. So here's what happens when you're, and it doesn't matter. One cool thing about fasting is you can do it on any kind of diet. If you're a meat eater, you can fast. If you're broke, it doesn't cost anything. You can fast. You'll save money fasting. If you're gluten-free, you can fast. You can fast with, a vegan, you can fast. You can do whatever the heck any diet it works with. What it does, though, is it lets your body catch up with its healing. Now, think of it like, I've talked about this one time before, but I like this example I came up with was, think of it like I'm a hoarder. I sit in my house all day long, and I order packages. And I'm a shut-in, and people bring me packages all day long. Now, in the beginning, I have an empty house, so I can open these packages, set them up, use them, and then I've got all these boxes and trash, and I can take them out and throw them out. But over time, if I'm ordering packages all the time, I start getting behind. And so I start trying to open stuff, and there's a big pile of trash in the house. And that is kind of like how your body works, that you start eating, and then you get overwhelmed, and that pile of trash ends up being fat and toxic chemicals and junk that you haven't dealt with in your liver. So what happens is, if you're a hoarder and you're ordering, you're shutting all the, you're shut in, you're ordering all this stuff, over the years, your house gets full. And the rooms are packed to the roof, and, you're trying to organize it in shelves and stuff, but they wear out, and you run out of room, and you can't keep up with all the trash you're making until you stop ordering packages. And then the stuff doesn't come in 5 times a day. Then you finally get a chance to go, okay, I got a few days off. I'm going to clean up this house, and I'm going to organize it better. So I'm going to throw out these packages. I'm going to save these, what I can. And what the American diet does is you eat 3 to 5 times a day, every single day. You never get a chance to clean your house. In fact, what you have to do is you run out of room and stuff spilling out of your house, and you're like, well, my 3 bedrooms full. I guess I need to build another room for storage. So you get fat. You build another room and fill it up with trash and stuff. And then you get fat and you keep building rooms. And if you just had a chance where you had a chance to throw the trash out and clean up, you could, if you would stop bringing new boxes in the house. That's what fasting is like. You're giving your body a chance to finally go, thank you. Thank you for not eating. Let me clean up my liver. Let me clean up these fat cells. Let me clean up the trash that's the toxic chemicals that are floating around the liver. It gives you a chance to catch up and start cleaning house and healing. If you're really far gone, though, you're 50, 100 pounds overweight, you won't get to that healing phase for a while. You have to clean a lot of trash out of your house. And this is why a lot of people can't fast, is they feel miserable when that trash is getting removed from the house. As the toxic chemicals come out of the fat cells, they hit the bloodstream, and you just feel terrible. Ugh. So that's a tough way to deal with it. So the intermittent fasting, what I'm doing is I'm eating every other day, and it's keeping it gives me enough time to clean house of what I ate that day, and plus a little more. So I'm keeping up with what I'm putting in by doing that. When I get to the weight I want to be, I'll probably won't do it that much. I won't do it every other day. I'll probably do it every few days. But, until I get to where I want to be, it's every other day. And if that takes a year of eating every other day, then that's what's going to happen. So, that's the way I like, because no matter what kind of diet you're on, you can fast. Unless the only people I would say that shouldn't fast, if you're pregnant, don't fast. Even children can fast a day, especially if they're overweight. But if a kid's really growing, like through major growth spurts, I probably wouldn't do it, especially if they're lean. But if you got like, there's a lot of 11 and 12-year-old fat kids, they can fast, most likely. If you're on a lot of weird medications, talk to your doctor before you fast. If you're on meds, you want to have a doctor go through it with you. And there's certain doctors that you can go to who do fasting. And the other thing, if you have an eating disorder, you might want to steer clear of it. Like if you've had problems with anorexia or bulimia or something like that, you probably want to be supervised how you fast with that. I probably wouldn't recommend it either for that. But that's like a small percentage. Most of the people in America are on their way to diabetes, overweight, and have, at least 10, 20 pounds to lose or more. So they can fast, most likely. So there's the thing is, that's what I don't know how I got on fasting, but that's what's up. Oh, Lava Girl splitting. What's up? Where are you going? And let's see, Mickey Pilgrim. What's happening? Ewok. Oh, thanks, Ewok. I appreciate that. Even with all the hair, you can see a difference. Yeah, I'm letting my hair get long here. I've got to something else we were talking about, and then I had to. The last conversation I had was I was going to rebrand the channel, and I wanted to do that because I want to make it simpler for new people that show up to understand what this channel's about. Because I can't even explain what this channel's about really, because it's about so many things. So I'm trying to get a very simple. Something like I said earlier, like an elevator pitch where I can explain what this channel is in one sentence. And I think I need to rebrand it, put a new picture up. If you guys noticed, my YouTube picture is like 10 years old. I'm like clean cut in a suit. This is not really what I look like anymore. Probably need to put a new thumbnail up. Probably need to rebrand it. Put a new header up. And probably make a new intro video too, just explaining what the channel is. But I think that I'm going to need some feedback when I'm going to try a couple different things, and hopefully you guys can tune in if that's a thing. If you guys want to help me out with that. I'm not sure what to do exactly. Get a caricature. Maybe a caricature. Here's the deal, and this is really where I'm uncomfortable though, is that hey, someone's watching on you now. Hey, VIP security, thank you. This is where I'm uncomfortable, and I've always been really uncomfortable, is I watched all this stuff about personal branding, and you're supposed to stick like your face in every single thumbnail, and you try to put your picture in with whatever you do. And I always was really self-conscious about that. I was like, man, I don't want to stick my picture in everything. Because like, if you look at my old videos before I tried to make a living on YouTube, they're all about the story. So if it's about beekeeping, it's a picture of bees. It's if it's about growing mushrooms, it's a picture of mushrooms. What they're saying, what the experts usually say, is make sure you stick your face in with the pictures of mushrooms, because what happens is people on YouTube will be like, oh, I don't know that dude's name, but yeah, that guy, I've seen that dude before, and they'll click on the story. You brand yourself, but it's very self-conscious. Like I feel weird about doing it. So that's a really strange. That's a very strange thing for me. I'm trying to figure that out. I need to put a picture of my face on it, but I'm still a little gun shy about it. But I know I probably just need to do it. Alright, let's see what you guys are talking about. Neither have been helpful? Thank you. I'm not sure what grand solar minimum is, what we're talking about there, but now we see the dock. Thanks. Oh, you're on Google search. You found me by accident. Wow. Well, I have been on Google a long time. YouTube is owned by Google, so I'm hoping. And I believe it or not, I actually have health articles written. I've got a whole channel of health stuff too, so I just haven't really got around to it. Oh, I've got so many new people. So for you guys that missed what I was talking about earlier, I'll just show it again real quick. That I made a channel. I made a story on YouTube that was like the most unoffensive story, family friendly. All I did was show pictures of my cat, and I took this picture the day it went out, And so there it is. So there really wasn't too many views yet. It's probably over 1,000 now, but there's the big yellow demonetization. This should be green when you're getting paid. And it says not suitable for most advertisers. And it was just a thing on kittens. Pictures of cats. There it is, that cat right there. So that's what you missed if you were late. And yeah. Meter says, I'd be happy size 18. Yeah, I mean, you can be happy. Believe me, I've been up and down in my weight my whole life. I've been really thin and ripped, and I've been fatter, pretty heavy. And I would never, ever bust on someone about their weight. I understand what that's like, and a lot of people are happy just like, hey, I'm just happy eating what I want and living how I want, and that's cool with me, man. It's just my problem is I don't feel healthy overweight. I hate the way I look, like nothing fits right. I feel like a bum. It's not, it doesn't bring out the best in me. Like I'm a much more motivated and active person when I'm at the right weight. The heavyweight makes me lazy and lethargic, and it just, that's the way it affects me. It might be different for you guys, and I'm sure it's cool. This is a personal thing. I don't want you guys to think like I'm telling you to go lose weight or something. That's up to you. You're never going to lose weight until you're ready to do it. And to me, it's just, I've never been able to make it a lifestyle. You know how people are always like, well, eat a low-calorie lifestyle or eat less than, exercise more. That stuff has never worked for more than a few months for me. I always crash and burn trying to transition from a diet to make it a happy lifestyle because I always feel like I'm missing out on what I want to eat. And I guess that's just like psychological junk that I haven't worked through. But like I said, I fast, and there's two things that happens when I fast every other day. Now I'm still a vegetarian. And honestly, I'm almost vegan. I'm like 80%, 90% vegetarian. Once in a while, some cheese will slip through, but that's about it. Or eggs and something, like I'll eat some bread made with eggs. I haven't gone completely vegan, but for the most part, I am. The thing about it though is, every once in a while I want some bread. Every once in a while I want a piece of pie. I don't want to give that up for my entire life. And intermittent fasting, like I'm doing, still allows me to eat that stuff once in a while. Like I can have a piece of pie and not worry about it. I'm like, I'm not eating anything tomorrow. I'm not worried about that extra piece. It just seems to work for me, so it's not such a struggle. It's that I can fit it. To me, it's a lifestyle that's it's a little uncomfortable, but it's realistic and I can do it. I mean, just don't eat every other day. And I'll tell you one other thing though, is I've saved a ton of money. I didn't realize how much. Like I will cook something, and since I'm only eating every other day, it'll last like the whole week. It only has to last 3 to 4 meals. So I will cook a huge thing of like bean burritos or something, and just eat on those all week, and I will spend $15 for my entire meal budget for a week. It's been really good. So that's it. Okay, let's see. What else are we talking about here? Neater, yeah, you size 24 to 26. Oh wow, River, man, you lost 151 pounds. Well done, girl. That's really awesome. Neater, yeah, it's hard when you're disabled because you can't really work out. You just like doing it through exercise is kind of hard. But again, I go back. I'm a big fan of fasting, man. I like that. And what you find out is when you're older, like 90% of losing weight is all about what you eat, not really exercise. Like very little of it. I can throw you on a treadmill and kill it, and you'll lose weight. But the second you stop doing that, it'll all come back. It doesn't maintain when you lose it that way. And it's a hard lifestyle to do that, especially if you don't like it. If you find a sport you like or something you like doing, exercise isn't that big of a deal. When I was playing rugby, I loved playing rugby, so it wasn't like torture or going dancing. I like dancing, but if you're disabled, like in a wheelchair or something, you're going to be like, you have to be a diet Nazi to really move that scale the other way. And fasting really works for me. Now, if you're on a lot of medications, find a doctor to get you through it. Don't just start trying to fast if you're on a lot of meds. But I'm on no meds, so as a chiropractor, most of my job is try to get people healthy enough that they don't need meds. So I'm not on any myself. I haven't even taken an aspirin in over 25 years, I think, something like that. I pretty much always use other alternatives unless when I broke my shoulder, I had to get anesthesia, and that really messed me up. Uh, that sucked. I broke my shoulder in a rugby game and had to get anesthesia, and man, I was down for like weeks with that stuff. Other than that, though, pretty cool. Oh, let me see what I'm missing here. Bill, you're already splitting. Thanks for stopping through. Yeah, meds are usually the problem, and again, you got to discuss that with your doctor, but you'll see a lot of stuff with these doctors that when they fast their patients, one of the first things they do is reduce their meds, and within a few weeks to months, they're off all their meds. So, hey, Brandon, thanks for subscribing. You got the catnip cat. He is excited. Look at his eyes. Yeah, Texas telespecial. Metabolic syndrome is the same as what I was talking about earlier about insulin resistance. It's also called Syndrome X. It's all the same stuff. It's just basically you get it from eating the standard American meaty diet, meaty and oil diet. At first, I used to think it was all about a high sugar diet, and that's kind of more not true. Like the research these days are pointing more towards meat and oil. So, I didn't realize oil was such a problem in a diet too until you take it out. It's amazing how crappy I feel if I eat a real oily thing. Like, okay, I don't get to go out much. So my dad is a food snob, and he only goes to like the best restaurants. And I was in town, and he invited me to go to this super nice Italian restaurant, like something I could never afford. And so I was like, hell yeah, I'll go. So I go, and the food's amazing, but everything is drenched in olive oil. Everything. And I eat this stuff, and I get so sick like the next day. I couldn't believe, because I forgot how much of oil kicks your butt if you really eat a lot of oil. And when I went to see Count Gordeval, I had popcorn in a theater. First time I've been to a theater in years. So of course I was like, hell yeah, I'm having some popcorn, and I eat this popcorn, and of course God knows what kind of oil's on it. And that was all bad too. So processed sugar is a mess. Yeah, it's not good. Oil seems to screw me up more than sugar. But I'll tell you what really messes me up vegan though is high fructose corn syrup. I can handle like brown sugar. I can throw a little brown sugar like in my oatmeal, and it doesn't make me feel crappy or run down. Where if I add some sort of high fructose corn syrup, like I have a piece of candy or something like some of the cheap maple syrup has that crap in it. Oh my God, I feel so sick. When you're off high fructose corn syrup for a while, I mean that stuff is really bad for your liver, like super super bad. Um, you know. Oh, I didn't even know vegan was still on here. Vegan, if you want to come on, man, I got a live stream going. If you want to jump on. Um, yeah, bad stuff. D's right. The V had a question. Darn it, I missed it. Where was it? Darn it. Getting shadow banned. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Ultrafedge says it's an imaginary thing. I never even heard of it. So, yeah, high fructose corn syrup, bad stuff, man. How often do you sweat? Oh, vegan wants to know how often do I sweat. Depends on the season. In the summer and spring, almost every day when I garden, I get out in the sun and I sweat. Believe it or not, gardening is a hell of a workout if you're doing it right. If you're shoveling and moving piles of dirt left and right, it's hard. I haven't played a sport in a while. Vegan. I used to go contra dancing and I would sweat there. Not very much anymore. I need to do it. Honestly, I just haven't been that active lately. I've been more focused on hibernating. During the winter, I go into like a hibernation mode where I just don't eat much and I sleep a lot. Yeah, vegan works out every day. He's like crazy about working out, and I guess he did a real. His story is really interesting. I'd love to have him on again about how he lost his weight. It was like a slow coming off, I think, over 2 years, but he changed his diet and upped his exercise game a lot. What it is I need to. He had a question about brown fat, normal fat, a new thing. Heard about it. Can you touch on it? Brown fat, yellow fat has been around for a while. Basically, different kinds of fat are supposed to burn different ways. That one is toxic fat, and the other is actually organ fat that has different. Um, keeps like the organs warm, so you don't. They work better. They're supposed to insulate organs, but they can also be unhealthy if they get too thick. So that's what I know about brown and white fat. Some fat they're saying is good fat, like the organ fat's better than the toxic white fat. Like if you can grab fat and jiggle it, that's like water weight fat. That's fat cells that are completely full of toxic water and salts. If you eat, remember how I was talking about before, I was like a hoarder, where if you're eating 3 to 5 meals a day every day, your body can't keep up with it. And when the liver gets clogged, the next place it starts stuffing chemicals is in fat cells. And those fat cells, these chemicals are, a lot of them are salts. So they attract water. And the fat cells swell up to outrageous, 5-10 times their size because they're full of salt water. So when you start burning fat, you start peeing like crazy as all those, all those stored cells, they start dumping their trash out for the liver to process it. That's why when you fast, you pee like crazy and you feel like crap because it's floating around your blood and your pee stinks and comes out of your skin and it stinks. And it's all that stuff in the fat cells that's coming out. So hopefully that answered the question. Oh, no problem. Let's see. I think that's... Leader says, I love yogurts, but need to avoid calcium right now. Moderate to 1 a day. At least switch over to the... try to get off dairy. Dairy's really inflammatory. You at least switch over to like the coconut oils, the coconut-based yogurts. You have like coconut ones or soy ones. Not the greatest, but they're still better than the dairy ones. You'll be able to process it a lot easier on your body. Okay. Hey, Dave. What's happening? Yeah, Dave just did a water fast. He was talking about that, a 10-day one. Congrats. Dave's skinny already, so I imagine when you did this, Dave, you probably weren't doing it to lose weight. It was more of just a general cleanse to get crud out of your body. So I imagine that a lot of stuff comes out. Especially if people don't realize that when you take medications or recreational drugs or stuff like that, that once your liver's clogged, your body puts that stuff in fat cells. And you will hear of people that when they start fasting, that they will feel these old medications come out into their bloodstream. And you'll especially hear this about LSD or people trip. They'll fast and they'll trip because they used to use a lot of drugs way back in the day. And that stuff's still in fat cells. And so when you burn that fat cell, surprise, you trip. So all kinds of stuff can come out. But people don't realize also just how bad like regular medications are. All that stuff really stays with you forever until you clean it out. With a fast. It's pretty much stuck in there. Addicted to French fries. Yeah, French fries are good stuff. But again, go easy on the oil. If there's nothing wrong with potatoes. Like I love sweet potatoes. Just try to get like an air fryer, or cook them in like a new wave oven or something like that, where you can cook these things and there's not as that much oil. That's where you get in trouble with the French fries. Is the oil. The actual potatoes aren't bad. It's a very complex carb. It takes a while. Potato chips, the reason they're so tasty and stuff, but they're so bad is because it's all the damn oil. The oil is really what kills you, man. The stuff I eat that causes my OCD and anxiety, I'll start it out around day 5 and those symptoms went off the charts. Yeah, I guess Dave, you're talking about like uh, around day 5, all that stuff. That stuff started causing you anxiety, huh? Reverend Hall, not to change the subject, what happened with your animal chiropractic practice? Well, for you guys that don't know, I've been a chiropractor since 2000, so what is that, 17, 18 years coming up? And around that time, my first year in practice, actually before, when I was still in school, I started taking animal chiropractic classes. And I actually settled in. I learned different kinds, but the one I use is not really chiropractic. It's called veterinary orthopedic manipulation, VOM, and it's mainly using tools to adjust animals. And it's people describe it as chiropractic because they don't know what else to call it, but it's not really chiropractic. The thing about it is I like it. It gets good results. I was working with a few vets to around here to do it, but since I moved, I haven't got out and I have not adjusted one animal really. I don't think, because I haven't made any contacts with the vets here, and I've been. This is something else I want to talk about because I've been focused on this. All right. I know, a long time ago I realized that if I got back in the system and wanted to play the game, I could save up some money, open a clinic, take insurance, get on Medicaid, start seeing personal injuries, workers' comp, get back into the system, and I could make a lot of money. But I'm not happy doing that, and it annoys me. And this is something for anybody that's really run businesses and invested, that one of the hardest things you have to deal with is you have a choice of what to do with your time. You can either work and make money, or you can work and try to make residual money. Now, what that means is residual money is like owning real estate or writing a book or doing a YouTube channel or something where I can go away for a month and it still makes money no matter what I'm doing. I just traveled for 3 months and I still made some money. Where if I held a normal job and decided to travel for 3 months, I'd get fired and I wouldn't make any money. So there's a difference between being paid right now, just making normal money, and making residual money. And years ago, after I finished my chiropractic practice, I realized that chiropractic is not, in any profession is pretty much like this. It can end any day, and it's fully dependent on me. So it's not, if I got hurt, my practice is over. If I got sued, my practice is over. There's not any way to keep your practice, or there's not a good way to make money, keep paying when you work for yourself. The idea is that you work for yourself, and then part of the money you make, you put it into investments. So you can make money, but your actual money you're going to live on and count on is somewhere else. It's not in your practice. And I realized that, and this is what I went through, is I can go out and build a practice again, but the day I stop working is the last money I'll ever see out of that practice. And that practice, the minute I'm finished adjusting, that's the last paycheck I get. Where I can sit and instead bust my butt and build this YouTube channel and put 8 hours a day in that instead of 8 hours a day building a practice. And I'm only going to make peanuts. I'm going to make peanuts compared to what chiropractic does. But I will keep getting paid on this effort for years to come. So I'll make peanuts every day, which ends up being a lot of peanuts over a few years. So it's one of these things that, do I waste, I only have so much time in life. Do I put my effort into growing a practice, and that all rides on me, and the day I stop working stops paying, and I find myself in my 60s in the same boat of, okay, now I got this, I have to go back to work because I need money. Or do I spend all my time on residual money, like YouTube, writing books, things that keep paying me? So if I want to stop, or if I get hurt or something happens, it keeps making money. And when I have the choice between the two, I put my time in residual. So when people are always like, why should you go back into practice? I have to sit and say, because it's a one-stop pony with with making money where if I would spend that time building my YouTube channel instead, or writing books, or doing any sort of online investing, I would continually get paid for my efforts. So that's where I'm at with 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 why I don't practice anymore. I still practice a little bit, like I see some patients here and there, but I don't want to have a full-blown practice because I feel like if I'm going to spend time on something, it should be on things that make residual income, not a 9 to 5 job, not going to work, earning money, going to work, earning money, and then hopefully I don't get fired kind of job. So the hard part, and where the tricky part is learning how to transition from making normal money to making residual income. And a lot of people can't make it because when you slide over, it takes years sometimes to get a nice residual stream going, and or a lot of investment money. It takes a little while, but once you get it going, the first couple $1,000s the hardest. After that, it builds on itself and it starts rocking and rolling. I don't trust banks, and I don't trust IRAs and trust funds and all that stuff, because that's all controlled by the government. And when I saw what happened a few years ago when the market crashed really hard, and what happened to Iceland when Iceland just stole 10% of their population's money, and then the U.S. Congress was like, well, maybe we should do the same. They started actually talking about having meetings about doing the same thing. I was like, screw that. I'm not putting my money out of my control. So pretty much, if I were to invest, it would be, on stuff I'm still a fan of metals. I still invest. I like Bitcoin. But if I'm going to put my effort in something, it's going to be right now YouTube until something better comes on that's a little more stable. I'm going to put my effort in YouTube and really crank my channel up this winter. You're going to see me start putting out a lot more stories. And I might write a book again. I don't know. I'm still toying with it because nobody really reads much anymore. So I haven't figured out what I want to do about that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Unirage. Oh my gosh, you're alive. Trace Smith says we're so low on doctors now. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have socialized medicine, man. What happens is, when I talk to my friends, and this is a big reason I got out of practice, was HIPAA just started coming out when I was in practice, and I spent so much money trying to become HIPAA compliant and training my staff and dealing with all the headaches. I was just like, this is so invasive. I don't want to deal with. I just want to heal patients, and all of my day is spent dealing with this crud. And it really turned me off on healthcare. So when I started talking with some of my friends who were doctors too, they were like, as soon as Obamacare comes, or socialized medicine, I'm just going to pack my books up and go, because I've made enough money. I'm going to go play golf the rest of my life. So a lot of the good doctors who don't have to put up with that crap are closing shop and just quitting. So the doctors who will take the cheap government insurance are usually the new doctors right out of school, foreign doctors who will take that stuff, and the bad doctors who can't who can't survive any other way. So you're really left with not a very good pool of doctors. Now, if you want good care, there's still some concierge cash doctors. If you're good at your field, you're just like, screw it, I'm not taking any insurance, and you can pay me cash if you want me. So healthcare has, because it's so regulated, it's so expensive. If they would take the regulations away, it would get way cheaper. But yeah, that's it. Doctors are overrated. That is true, vegan. I rarely see. I think doctors has. I don't go to doctors much. There's difference. There's some doctors I really trust, but my life is based to avoid doctors. A lot of what you can do with diet and lifestyle is 90% of the reason you'll see a doctor. If I do have to see a doctor, like when I broke my shoulder, or I get hit by a car or something, I have insurance to cover some of that stuff. Like my car insurance covers med pay and stuff like that. You know, that stuff I don't, and I just pay for it out of pocket if I have to. Like when I broke my shoulder, I think it was close to like $12,000 I had to pay out of pocket, which sucked. But considering the flip side is, you know, all the years I'm healthy, I don't have to pay for doctors, so evens out, man. I think I'm way ahead when you're young. Yeah, Robin says she pays for her MD outright. If I got bit by a spider a few years ago, and I went to a little doc in the box corner, worth it. I mean, it's so much cheaper than the ER, and it was way better service. It was like just a place that only took cash, and it was like $400 for the spider bite that should have, if I went to the ER, it'd probably been $10,000. Um, Uni says I should do classes online, and you guys should take over the world through the net. Yeah, I mean, people do get paid doing classes online, and some people make classes via internet and sell them. I don't know what I would make a class on. Like, what would I make a class on? I like the idea. Maybe I could make a private class. People wanted to pay, you know, 20 or 50 bucks to sit through a series of lectures. They could. I just don't know what people would be interested in. It's a neat idea. Let's take over YouTube. Yes, I know. I'm I'm down with it. I'm gonna start really jamming up my game here, Uni. If you want to come along for the ride. And now that I'm back, I just trying to get my house in order here so it doesn't freeze and break. But after that's in place, I don't know how much you've been watching Unirock, but I've been talking about changing you know, my branding on my channel and trying to pick up my game a little bit and trying to get better at it. Anatomy. You want me to teach anatomy? I think all the stuff out there is for free on anatomy already. I don't know if people want that, but I don't know who would pay for that. Well, I am kind of good at explaining neurology, I guess. Well, you know, all that stuff's for free on the net. I don't know people that would pay. I wouldn't pay for it. I'd just look it up for free. Oh, Trey says I should teach. Teach what? I teach on my YouTube channel every day. I teach something. I guess I could teach, but it's the same boat of, do I want to spend my time making money for today, or do I want to put my time into things that make residual income? If I have 8 hours a day, do I make a quick buck, or do I make something that pays me, you know, $1 a day for the rest of my years? It's a question of what do I do with my time. Emmy Anatomy, yeah. I tried to have a story about that, but that did not go well. I'd pay to learn about mending the heart. Oh, Alter Fudge, that's so sweet. Don't take romantic advice from me. My love life's a freaking mess. That's the last person you should be listening to advice on that. You mentioned residual. Mr. Wonderful loves revenue that was residual in perpetuity. Yeah, Shark Tank. Well, that's all right. And you guys are probably, if you've ever taken time to watch any sort of business stuff, you'll look at Poor Dad Rich Dad, where he explains, you know, that stuff's been around I think since the 90s, where he talks about how rich people have all their money's made residually. They put their effort over into rental houses or stocks, or, you know, like we're doing electronic residual stuff, where poor people and business owners all make money for the day, and they're not rich people. They work their butts off. Self-employed's like one of the worst deals out there. You're working for peanuts usually when you start a business for years, and most businesses fail. It's much better if you're going to run a business to figure out how to do it in the residual side, not the day-to-day side. Teaching has burned me out. Damn teens. Oh, random teaches. Hey, M. Hobbs. Nice to see you. You know, believe it or not, I was going to teach. All right, so I took biology in college. Actually, all right, I'll tell you a little of my college story. I came in as a religion major because my grades were so bad. I was told I was a bad student in high school. The only thing that saved me is I rocked my SATs. I got a high score on my SATs, but I just hated high school, and I tried to skip as much as possible. So I was a bad student in high school. But in college, I thought college was really easy compared to high school. Because college, you get to pretty much, you go to class 3 to 4 hours a day and you're done. You pick your classes. If you don't like a teacher, you change the teacher. You pick, like to me, college was a joke compared to high school where you're forced to go 6 hours a day with teachers you hate. So that happened. And then I changed over from religion major to biology, which was completely opposite. And then I got into chemistry, and my minor was jewelry. I was pretty much like doing a lot of silversmithing. So, where's I going with this story? Why did I talk about college and school? Oh, jeez, I forgot where I'm going with this. Oh, teaching. So I was like a biology major. I was like, what am I going to do with biology? So I guess I thought, well, I could always be a biology teacher. And I tried teaching. I got through my student teaching part of it, and then I failed the second part because I just could not. I did not like the public school system. I did not fit in well with that model. There was so much stupid red tape. I couldn't even pretend to get through it, and never worked for me. I just can't teach children boilerplate regurgitation material. I'm like, let's learn how to think, not learn how to just regurgitate. And they don't want that in government schools. They want you just to teach for the test. And I was not a good fit. I'd probably do okay to private school, maybe at college level, but not now. All right, so Mr. Sir Kinney, glad you're still making videos. Rebranding goes well. Yeah, I haven't done it. He keeps pulling for Lupo's life and lessons. It's not bad, actually. All right. Let's see. Only one. Reverend says only one question, Doc. Is high blood pressure a disease or a symptom of? This is the one question I can never get an answer. Doctors today. Usually high blood pressure is a result of too much inflammation in the arteries. So it's your lifestyle. It is what you're eating and your lifestyle that hardens those arteries. And most of the underlying condition of heart attacks don't come from eating too much cholesterol and all that junk. It comes from inflammation. All the newest, unless your doctor has his head in the hole, they've known it's all about inflammation for years. Oops, sorry. So that's what's going on with that. All right, so what else we got? Trace Smiths, you get back to students and doctors of tomorrow. You'll be investing in kids who look up to you. Oh, go be a professor. That's sweet, Trace. But no, I don't know. I don't know if I'd have to be. Oh, M-Hop sent me $30 Canada. Thank you for the Canada. That was so sweet. I don't know how I missed it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, M. You're a good person. I don't know about teaching because again, it takes me out of that is going to work right now just to earn money instead of like residual income. I don't want to be in my 50s and still struggling to pay a gas bill. I have a choice of which direction do I go. Do I go and try to make a lot of money fast, which then as I get older I have to keep doing over and over? Or do I slowly make money residually that I can literally go on vacation for a year and kick up and still make money? And I kind of like that residual side more because, what if, whatever, something happens or there's no job security in any job. You can get fired and you get dependent on that money. So it's tough. I'm not sure. So let's see. There's some flirting here on the channel. What else we got? Oh, HypnoCat. Yeah, the HypnoCat came out. He struck again. And that's because of Unirock. Thanks for setting it up. And Unirage, how you been? I hope you're doing well. I hope you'll give me a hand with some of this stuff. I need to see that if... I've been trying to stream on YouNow, and I can't tell if it's working. Unirage, if you could check if this is live over at YouNow. I think it is, but I don't know. I cannot... To me, it's just a big black square. It's not showing me actually doing anything on YouNow. Oh, there is people here. in chat. Brandy and LeChuck. So thanks to you now, people, but I don't see an actual stream of myself on there, but it looks like there's some people in there in chat. I don't know. So, you now, people, go ahead and comment to me, because I'm trying to show y'all some love over there. Alright. Who did we lose here? Everybody dropped a bunch of hearts. Somebody must be going away. Robin. Alright. Yeah, I love the Uni team. If you guys don't know, if you're new to the show and you don't know who Unirock and Unirach are, please go check out Uni Uprising and his other channel, just Unirock. He's a good friend of the show. Love those guys, and I hope you'll go show them some love. Alright, so we kind of went all over the place today, right? We talked about how I demonetized, I dared YouTube to demonetize me, and they did, over pictures of cats. So we'll see what happens. Now, they do sometimes reverse what they do, but you have to get to 1,000 views before you can do that. Oh, okay, Little Arizona says, so a video streaming service is YouNow. Okay, so there's lots of other videos. The problem is this. YouTube is the granddaddy and it has all the viewers. But there are other services that I stream over at because I don't trust YouTube. I've had too many of my friends lose channels. Vegan got his channel stolen and shut down, and Unirock got his, the same thing kind of happened to him. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm trying to build an audience on other services. YouNow is a strange service in a sense that it is, I don't even think it records these. You have to be live broadcasting and it doesn't even record it. You're just in and out. But they have a kind of a cool vibe over there. They're a neat audience. And then it's kind of like, I'm also over on Periscope. Periscope only holds it for a few days and then that's gone. I'm over at Twitch. Twitch is mainly for gamers, but they're trying to get into other markets, so I'm hoping to be one of the talk shows that takes off over there. And I'm over at VidMe. VidMe is kind of where my backup is in case this channel goes down. Although I've been really slack about getting stuff over there. They're all very small. I like Twitch. It doesn't make, you know, I don't have any sort of audience over at Twitch. I have like 3 people that follow me over at Twitch, so I'm just going to keep trying. You know, since I'm not gaming, I should play some games like Unirock does, and I'd probably pick up a bigger audience. But, you know, that would be like the ultimate job, just to sit and play games and get paid. I wish I could do that. I want to stream some games like he does. That would be like the best job ever. Yeah, Periscope, Twitch, they're okay. They're pretty much, they're just mirroring what this is. YouNow, let's see if people are talking to me on there. YouNow, Unirach is watching me. Unirach, tell me if you actually see something or if it's just a big black square. Because to me, here's what it's showing me. Right there, Uni. It's just a big black square. So I have no idea if that's going or not. So, yeah. Here you go. Okay. The Mandela effect needs me. Okay, good luck. Yeah, Vegan's a little bitter about that still. After YouTube Nazis. It does suck, and I'm waiting for another service to come. But until then, this is what makes most of my money. So I've got to play the game until I can find a way to replace income. I'm still playing with the idea of maybe Patreoning. I don't know if any of you guys would be giving me any sort of feedback if you would consider Patreoning, or if that is like I feel weird about asking people about like that, but I guess I shouldn't. It is free will and it's a choice if they wanted to or not. Do you guys think Patreon's a good idea? Is it played out at this point? Is there too many people on Patreon? It would be awesome if I could make like, you know, $1,000 or $2 off Patreon, and I could be completely free and be able to say what I want and do what I want on YouTube and not worry about it. Although my channel wouldn't change a whole lot. I'm pretty soft-spoken on my channel. I let the the topics to get really fired up about. There's plenty of other people covering that stuff. Like Vegan Warrior, I think he got in trouble for talking about some false flag stuff. And I think that stuff's important to talk about, but it's just not really what my channel's about. I mean, there's like 100 other channels that talk about that stuff. I try to keep a very, if you're new to the channel, I always try to keep a positive vibe and a feel-good vibe here. Even if we talk about bad, scary stuff, I always try to bring it back to a happy place. I think it's important. There's so much negative on the internet that I feel my purpose in life is to help spread some positivity and some enthusiasm, just kind of bring the vibration up a little, you know. That is what I'm here to do, and I need to find a bigger outreach and a better way to do that, and hopefully rebranding will help that. There's so much negative junk in the world. I'm tired of being around it. I don't want to hear it. I just want to focus on the good stuff, and you know, we love each other and support each other. It'll be good. Oh, Mr. Kinney says start an ME religion pyramid scheme. You'll be rich. Yeah, that'd be awesome to start a cult. That'd be great. I think there's some people that beat me to it, though. I would suck as a cult leader because I'm just not bossy enough. I don't tell people what to do or think. I'm just like, do your own thing. Okay, let's see. So a couple people say, oh, Unirich says it is a big black square. So why isn't it broadcasting my stream? Damn. I don't understand why it's doing that. If crisis actors can make money on Patreon, why can't we? Well, if I could get enough people, I mean, maybe I need to get off my butt this week. I'm going to put it on my goal list. Let me write it on there. I'm going to learn about Patreon. Let's see how we... It's my cool crab pen. Patreon is now on my... Learn about it. On my goal list for tomorrow. I'm going to watch videos on how to set one up. I have no idea what to give away. I'm just so clueless on what to do with Patreon. I figured, oh, I got a PayPal button. If people wanted, they could just, you know, make a monthly donation there, but nobody does. So I guess you actually have to dangle some carrots with Patreon to get them to do it. I think my Twitch is working right now, Unirach, but I don't know why. Why is... Could you ask Unirach, if you're listening to this, could you ask Unirock why I'm getting a big black square on you now? Why it is showing me this? Because I cannot figure out what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. I feel really bad about that because it says I've had like 30 people stop by. And yeah, that's not good. They don't need to see a big black square. Oh. A drunk Ewok. Oh, wow. Thanks for the donation. Exclusive Patreon content in addition to what you're doing on YouTube. Okay, Ewok, what kind of exclusive things would you want me to do? That's where I'm kind of hung up. Like, what could I give away that's exclusive that wouldn't piss everyone else off that I'm not giving it to everyone? Oh, the Hypno-Cat. There he is. Look, there he is. Hypno-Cat. Thanks. You get the Hypno-Cat for you, Ewok. So I have to figure out what kind of thing would be exclusive. What would you pay for to come over and talk to me about? And I do not know. Maybe I could get a special guest, but then, like, people, my regular listeners are going to get all pissed off that they don't have access to these interviews. I could strip. I'm not in that kind of condition yet. You can give me, like, some more... Talk to me in a half a year from now, 6 months. Let's get out there. Woo, woo. I was actually offered a striptease job in high school. I was in on a wrestling team, and I had like 3% body fat or something. It was ridiculous. I just had like crazy abs, but I found out, you know, there's not much pay for straight male dancers. You have to be gay to make any money, I think. So there you go. Yeah, not good. You see, but the secret truth, if I give medical advice, then it ties me to a doctor-patient relationship. Like, people will see my YouTube stuff, and I can give general advice out there. Like, here's some general advice. Go talk to your doctor about your own condition. But people want you to give them a free diagnosis online all the time. So they'll email me and be like, hey, I have this condition with all this. What do you think? And I'm always have to say, I can't comment on your specific condition because it enters me into a doctor-patient relationship online, and I don't want that. Especially, if they do something that goes and gets themselves hurt, then I'm responsible. So, sometimes some people get pissed off at me for not answering their questions, but you can't really, unless I want to have an online practice, which is a kind of this quasi thing that people pay me to take advice and stuff. That's different than people just like trying to get free advice and emailing me about their specific case. But again, it opens a lot of unnecessary doors up. I don't want to really mess with it, if that makes sense. Because now I can give like general advice. I can say, here's why. Or I can talk about myself, what's going on with me. But I can't really, if you said, I have this condition with A, B, and C, what should I do? I can't really answer that because it ties me into a doctor-patient relationship with you, and it opens me up to all kinds of liability and junk. It's a pain in the butt. Okay. Let's see. What is everybody? Hey, Unimom's on here. What's happening? What's going on, Sarita? Haven't seen you in a while. All right. Hell yeah. Okay, you guys are talking about me dancing for money. All right, so Ewok, she says, I don't know either. Maybe older, more produced, in-depth videos. Yeah, I mean, like, that's where I'm at with Patreon is what do I put that's special over there that I'm okay with not everybody seeing? And like, we could do chats like this where I'm just talking personally, but I would love your ideas because I'm just not sure where to go with that. Like, what do I offer? I would say maybe you could suggest a story and I'll go do it. You pay me enough, you can I'll go out, and you want a story about asparagus, I'll go do a story about asparagus, whatever you want, whatever you want that's in my wheelhouse. Little Arizona. No. I started listing about alternative cures, I promise. Oh, Unimom says I look good. Thank you. The debate you're having right now with yourself is exactly why I dropped off YouTube. Too many topics I want to talk about and no clue in the direction. Let's see. Yeah, Amazon. I am I'm a Prime Twitch member. I just don't know what it does. He's talking about, on Amazon Prime. All right. Let's see. Chat to others who produce their own crafts. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Marianne. I love craft stuff. I could just have like surprise videos that you don't know what it is until like you tune in. I could have like surprise interviews, but I feel bad just giving that to my Patreon and not like everybody else. It's kind of like an FU to everybody. It's like, hey, I got this awesome guest, but you can't see them unless you pay. Wah. I don't know. I feel bad about doing that, but maybe I shouldn't, because I am basically giving away all my content for free. 99.99 people that watch this never pay a dime. So I don't know. I'm open to ideas, though, if you guys have any. And I guess Vegan didn't hear me. I offered you to come on and talk about this, but I think now we've been on for like an hour or two, so I might call it out. Let's see. Can you have online guests that connect and talk on your channel? Yeah, Texas, I can have other online guests. If you've, I guess maybe you're new to here. I used to do interviews all the time where I had multiple guests on at the same time for my live show. I just haven't figured out what I want to do. Maybe I could get someone like, Jacob's a friend of the show. Jacob Israel might do a a special, like we'd come in and ask us questions or something, like a live chat. Behind the scenes, up close and personal. Well, this is pretty much my life. I'm I don't know how much more behind the scenes I can get. I I'm no guru. I don't pretend to know everything. I'm pretty raw up here. I'm always like, what do you guys think? I'm just figuring it out. So, I mean, I think my strength is I feel like at least I'm honest about who I am with you guys. I'm not trying to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm not. I don't know the answers. I'm confused half the time. I'm just trying to figure it out. But at least we're doing this together. You know, we're in the same boat here. Secret truth. You missed the roundtables. I'm down with doing some roundtables again. My problem is I don't like staying up late. So we have to either do them on the weekends, maybe one day a week that's late. I don't really, it's not good for my health to stay up that late. And the other flip side is we kind of burn those topics to death. We need some good topics that for the roundtable, because I think we've talked the Mandela effect to death, and I just have to. I've never really sat down and worked up new segments because I got burned out on it. It's like, and plus, you know, there was a time where I was getting thousands of views on the live Mandela shows, and then everyone started doing their own shows, and my audience got smaller and smaller and smaller, and it was like, well, I don't know, this is worth the effort. You know, it takes a lot of effort to get the roundtable set up and to keep them moving well and keep them produced well. I learned a lot as I went, and as far as my show goes, what I like to do is keep it so it flows. I think I watch some other shows and I can't watch them because they're so unproduced well. Like, I've only got a couple things about my live shows. One is you have to be on video. I don't want to see a shot, you know, like a headshot where somebody's talking and you don't see their expressions, you don't see who they are. I never let someone on I don't see their face. So that knocked out a bunch of people because a lot of people hide behind their pictures and they don't want you to know who they are on YouTube. So there were some guests that just refused to come on because I was like, you know, you either show your face or don't come on. And then the other thing is you have to figure out how to politely cut people off who are overpowering the conversation. When I have 5 or 6 guests on at the same time, I'm like, okay, you get 3 minutes, you get 3 minutes, you get 3 minutes. But you'd have one guy on there that would take like 10 or 15 minutes, and I'd have to be a jerk and be like, okay, enough, stop, let someone else respond. And especially when it's getting good, I don't like interrupting, and it's just tough because it took a while to learn how to flow a show. When I watch some other roundtables out there, I can't even get through them because they're so, like, one dude will dominate and speak for 30 minutes, and then some other guy goes on with kids screaming in the background and dogs barking, and then another person comes on that's just like a talking picture of, you know, like their phones going in and out, and it's just like so crappily low budget produced that I don't enjoy watching shows like that. I know it's terrible because the show could be really good, but the actual production value is so bad it's unwatchable. Wow, I'm really kind of going off here. All right, so what did I miss here? Reality check. Yeah, everyone seems to miss the roundtable discussions. They were a great way. Always had large audience. You should bring them back. Ah, Miss Waffles. She likes the roundtable. M. Hobbs, repeat. Comment, sorry, folks. Make some merch t-shirts and stuff. All right. The problem is, again, with merchandise, when I've seen people do it in the past, they don't really sell that well, and then you get stuck with like thousands of t-shirts. Or I can do it like Cafe Press or something, but then the t-shirts are like $30. I don't want to deal with anything that's actual physical merchandise where I have to ship it to people and keep track. It ends up being like a losing proposition. You spend all your money on merchandise and that nobody wants. Like, I'd rather do like digital things where, you know, it doesn't cost me anything. Maybe if someone wants to pay enough, they can come on and to the show, or where they could ask questions, special questions, or ask me to get a guest, or I don't know, maybe pay me to find a certain guest, something like that. I haven't decided, but all right. DV's talking about Twitch has bits that you can earn for free and you can gift the creator. They're small bits, but that binds you to real revenue. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know much about Twitch. I need to do more. I just don't have an audience over at Twitch at all. I'd like to. Mom says, I guess Taryn doesn't like my idea. No, it's not that. I just don't want to get over my head with buying T-shirts and mugs and that stuff. It's very expensive to do that. That's it. Cut my hair and sell it. Cut Luck's hair. Well, if you pay me enough, I'd probably give you a lock for sure. That's funny. All right. Yeah, I could do something like Teespring where they print them up and order it, so I don't have to deal with it. Yeah, maybe okay. I have no idea. I guess I just put a picture of Cool Cat on a shirt and says, "Be nice to your cat." I don't know. I'm not an artist. I really probably need someone to design a logo for me anyway. For if I do brand that to Lupo TV, I probably need a. Like Rock has a cool little logo and stuff. Yeah. Always new topics for a roundtable. Yeah, Miss Waffles, maybe I'll start doing them again. I was saying before, my big issue was my life was in a major transition, and I didn't want to have to do them on the road, and that I want to do more than Mandela stuff if I do them. I was starting to go off in a different direction a little bit, and I just had to be in the mood to do them, and I haven't been in the mood, honestly. But I know that's what people want. Maybe I'll do some more of those. I am going to be doing a lot more set pieces, which means that they're like not live shows, they're stories. I've got a bunch for the winter I got to do. So I'm probably going to do some sort of balance, like maybe 2 set pieces and 1 live show a week, or maybe 3 or 4 altogether. Try to do something every other day. Oh, I love Karen Swine. Mary, yeah, I like Karen. She's been on my show before. I've been on hers. She's a really nice lady. I love Karen. So if you're listening, Karen, I miss you. Come back. She was cool. Vanilla says lots of places. Yeah, if you guys want to design a T-shirt for me, do it. I'd be happy. Feel free. You can knock yourself out. I'll have a T-shirt design contest. So that's cool. Yeah, M. Hobbs, I'm back. I've only been here a day or two and just been dealing with, like, it immediately snowed when I got here, and I've been dealing with breaking all the stuff down in the yard. The garden's practically dead from the snow. I missed half the damn things I planted because I missed it by like 2 days. Everything was dead from the damn snow. It killed all my lettuce. I didn't get a chance to harvest it. Really bummed out that I should have come back a few days earlier, but I was busy working on stuff. Interested in learning more about vegan recipes, alternative cures for diabetes, apple cider vinegar. I'd be willing to have vegan on and discuss that more because, like I said, I'm vegetarian. I don't really, although most of my recipes are vegan. I rarely use eggs or cheese. Yeah, I could show you a recipe or two I like. I have a burrito recipe that I love. I gave it to my family who are all big carnivores, and they loved it, which was a surprise because they're such big meat eaters. I didn't think they'd eat it. But it's amazing what you can do with mushrooms. If you cook mushrooms right, they taste like meat. Yeah, it sucked. M. Hobbs. I'm bummed I grew all these wonderful bib lettuce and all this stuff, and I missed it by like 2 days. It got snowed on, and it was just dead. Oh, I was really bummed. Want to hear paranormal stories. Well, River Swept, I might have some paranormal. My psychic friend Dana still wants to come on. I could do a psychic show. Maybe I could do that on Patreon. Something like that. But I could do that. I could I just haven't been. You guys gotta understand that going behind the scenes where you actually have to get a guest to come on is sometimes a lot of work when they don't know you. Like, you have to send them videos and convince them to come on, and usually you gotta like know somebody they know so they trust you enough to come on. Especially with weird topics. Like if I get someone who's into UFOs or ghosts or aliens or something, they're very skeptical in the first place. Like, they think you're going to get them on and make fun of them or burn them on a show. And so you have to get them to trust you to even come on. I got some pretty big names that came on my interviews, and that's only because I had other big names that I brought in. So it's a little round way. And then also I had a lot of my listeners would convince other YouTube channels to come on. You know, they were popular. They knew the other people on other channels. So I might have to bring it back next. I would say in a maybe after Thanksgiving I'll boot up and start doing stories again over in December, like that, having interviews. I have a very interesting interview coming up. Little Arizona. It depends on you guys. But I'm trying to get Burma the same day, maybe next Wednesday. I'm not going to tell you much because I'm going to tease the story, but there is a crisis coming next month. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Little Arizona, don't you dare tell them what it is. And we will talk about why you should stock up, that there's something coming in December you don't know about. And I'm not, you know, if you watch my channel, I'm not a fear-monger channel. I don't sit there and go, oh, all hell's going to break loose and we're going to die next week. But this is a real thing that you need to know about if you live in the U.S. There is a potential crisis coming that nobody's talking about. And we're going to discuss all that next Wednesday. And the bottom line is stock up before December, because there's something that's happening that is getting overlooked. Yeah, and Haas, we're happy here at CERN. I'm so sick of talking about CERN. I don't want to have anyone else on about CERN. We've had like 20 shows about CERN. I'm all CERNed out. Oh, I'm sorry. Santa Claus is coming. That's true in December. He does, but not for you. You get Cole, because I heard you were bad. YouTube says you've been bad, so him and Santa, you know. I haven't watched Vegan's channel in a while. I wonder if, did you have your puppies yet? The vegan puppies? I'm curious to see how all that goes. And well, you know, who doesn't like a channel with puppies? Well, check that out. So, big changes this week. I'm gonna have to get that last story done with my dad, thank God. I hope that'll be done. And then I've got so much backstories of stuff, but what's weird is a lot of videos I shot are from the summer and the fall, and I don't know if it's appropriate to put them out in winter. Like, I'm doing gardening stories about something in the summer, but, like, would you watch that in the middle of the winter? Would you be like, well, this is weird. This is out of season. This shouldn't be here. You know, I don't know. So, that is the big question. I don't know what to do about that. Then I always do a few holiday stories. If you ever noticed, I don't know if you searched around my channel, but I've got a bunch of, I usually do at least 1 or 2 holiday stories every year. So at this point I have a playlist of a bunch of Christmas stories. And I have 1 or 2 coming up. I got to get done. So those should be, I'll drop them after Thanksgiving. Something feels wrong about doing a Christmas story until after Thanksgiving. I don't know. What do you guys think about that whole Christmas for 3 months thing? Like, there was stuff in the store at Christmas at like October. It was like Halloween stuff next to Christmas stuff. It's like, I don't get it. So that's what's up. And Vegan, they want you to come on and do a cooking segment. So maybe could I talk you into that for a Patreon thing? Would you come on and do a vegan cooking segment for me? Show me a recipe. That's it. Mr. Kinney, Vegan Warrior, good live FE video last night. Ask Lupo about FE. I don't know what FE is, so I guess it stands for feel everything. That's right, baby. Oh, yeah. D the V brings up a good one too. Exploring RV life. I was really fascinated in that for a while because I was really on my last dollar, and I was thinking, yeah, maybe I'll just go live in one of those vans. Or there's these people that, you know, make these kick-ass vans and kick-ass camper vans and RVs, and they just roam around and make vlogs. It's really neat too. It's a cool lifestyle. Like, there's a few of them I like. These couples that go around and they just blog everything they do, and they just make a living out of blogging and vlogging, I should say. their RV, but it was there. It's a very romantic notion. I like it, but what I found out is it's actually more expensive than staying where you're at. Um, when the universe decides to drop money in my lap, and it's going to, I have faith in you, universe. Uh, I really want to build an Earth ship, or maybe start smaller with just like a yurt and play with it, and I'll film all that. One of these days, when I decide to homestead here, that'll be what my channel evolves to, is me sitting around and building a place for a year and showing you exactly how I'm doing it. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'd like to do a lot more stories about off-grid and live it myself. There was a time where I was getting close, and then I got divorced, and that stopped. So, you know, there was a time I got a taste of it, and I really liked that lifestyle. You see, I got all these cool things I want to do, but they all hinge around me making enough money. So really what I got to do is focus and bring my YouTube money. I got to double and triple it to get it to where it's making enough that I could have a lifestyle I want. And that is going to be why I'm going to do daily goals. And I am going to crush my YouTube coming up. And I just have to find my legs here to get it up to speed. Okay, check out Bob on his YouTube channel, Cheap RV Living. Okay, I'll check it out. Hey, Mary, thanks for subscribing. You get the catnip cat. He has eyes of love. Look at him go. Robin, public speaker. I believe in the universe. Yeah, Robin, I know people like tease me about that stuff, but I really believe, you know, you make your own reality here, and I'm ready to have some money. So I'm like, universe, there's all these cool things I want to do, and I need funds to do them. So you got to put that vibe out there, and that money will show up. It always does for me. Always. It's never let me down. When I need money, I just ask the universe, and it shows up. Might not show up how you think it's going to show up, but it shows up. So I'm putting it back out there. I'm ready, because I need to start saving up, and I'd like to get a little piece of property and a little homestead farm for a little bit. Now, I'm torn because I still want to see the world and go do stuff, but I think there's some balance I could probably do. Oh, Barry, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. There's some cat love for you. You know, there's still a lot I can do. I feel like there's a balance. I really enjoy growing things and watching, you know, farming and kind of being a hippie a little bit with the earth, and I enjoy having a garden, and I kind of want to, you know, keep a big chunk of my channel for that. Not that the other stuff will go away, but you know, one of the things you'll notice, I think I have more gardening videos on here than about anything else. I just like growing stuff. I think there's something very spiritual about, you know, planting a seed and watching something grow. It's I don't know. It brings me a lot of peace. So I want to make a life of that. Although it'll be pretty funny because I've never really gone all the way off grid or something. It should be a pretty fun YouTube experience to chart me going from more and more off grid to that lifestyle, and all the screw ups I'll make. But I'll document it all, so hopefully other people can avoid some of the big mistakes I'll make. I'm sure, like, what do you do when the bear shows up at your yurt? You know, which will happen here. I had a bear on my porch a few weeks ago. I got a video of it, but another story I gotta make. The bear stole the damn bird feeder and ran off with it. Live off the land, no trapping, no hunting for 30 days. See, vegan, I was watching that show you told me to watch, Alone, Alone. And I was like, why doesn't someone just really overweight go on this show and then just beat everybody else out by just, you know, fasting the whole time? It's like, just go on like a 90-day fast and win. You wouldn't even have to do much but scavenge around for some berries, and that'd be about it. Yeah, I've never canned, Dave. I really want to have someone on the show to show me how to can. I keep missing classes. They have some at Pork Fest, and I miss it every year. I want to learn how to can. I haven't done that. It's just like, I want to dig a root cellar. There's all this stuff I want to do, but you know, when you don't own your property, I'm in a mobile home, and it's on someone else's property, so it's like I can't really do much. I can plant a little bit, have a garden, but I can't do all the cool stuff I want to do. I really need my own property to do what I want with it. Yeah, I'll vlog everything I do. I have so much backstories of stuff that I've been doing. I have enough that probably to go till January, February of every other day. Just little stuff that I need to just get it done, but it all hinges on me finishing this other story and fixing my computer. My computer's running on like a hamster. You know, there's like a hamster spinning and rubber bands and tape. Like nothing works. I've got to fix my computer or get a new one. I'm gonna put that out to the universe. Universe, I'm ready for a new computer, and that would be great. He says because of the medical, if you lose too much weight, you'll be disqualified. Yeah, but if you were like 100 pounds overweight, even fasting, you only burn a half pound of fat a day. So you could go 200 days on 100 pounds overweight and only lose 100 pounds. Unless you're really, really, really active. So maybe like they're active the first week where they build a shelter and then they just sit on their ass and sleep and win $500,000. I don't know. It just seems like something I would basically get paid to go out there and lose weight and starve. How about community sales, like buying from other people, not Walmart? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Maybe, I'm not sure what you guys mean. Spill more about the crisis. I'm not going to. You'll have to wait till Wednesday. But it is for real. It's not one of these made-up disaster. There's a really good reason for it. And I'll go into it then. I'm trying to get some people on that are the right people to talk to, and that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, vegan, he says it's not well for the obese people. They always quit. You're right, they always do quit, but they're the ones that always seem to pick where the bears are, you know? On that show, like, it's a luck of the draw. Half the island has these bears that, like, come by and these people drop out in 2 or 3 days because the bears are all eating their camp. That's it. I'm not above clickbait, but no, I don't. This will not be clickbait. It'll be for real. But I'm not gonna let little Arizona has to stay quiet. Let's see. So that is something else I have to get in order. Is this house was woefully unprepared for that flood disaster we had, where you know Kate got moved to a shelter in the middle of the morning. That was not good. So one of the things I need to do before it snows hard again is to get all that in order. Get enough water in here, get enough power in here, get all the batteries ready to go, and maybe I can make a little video about what that looks like, but I need to do that, get that all straightened out. Swap talents for food. What kind of talents? That's what I want to know. Anyway. If you guys have any more questions, I keep trying to leave, but it never seems to happen. Let's see where I'm at with how many people are actually watching this puppy. Okay. So the show has been going on 2 hours here. I thought I was just going to talk for a little bit, but it blows up. Do you have any other questions before I split? Otherwise, it is an eating day, so I'm going to go eat. Go eat something. So that's what's going on with me. I'm going to get back focused on getting motivated to crank it up this winter, and you guys can hold me to it if you want. You can poke and prod me and say, where are you at? Where you at? I need to increase my YouTube money a lot, get my health back in order, fast a lot. I'm going to try to pick up my exercise game a little bit and get a lot more productive on getting some sort of residual income and a bit more of a career going again. And that's going to take some willpower and some organization. You know, you can't just drift most of the day and go, oh, well, 4 days went by, 4 hours just went by, and I don't know where they went. You know, you gotta when you're running a business, you got to account for it. And I got to take what I'm doing more serious, like a business. Currently, you know, I've just been so into my own life of what's going on that it hasn't really been I haven't been paying attention much to my business. So there we go. Mary, it'd be nice to see me regularly again. Thank you. You're going to probably take that back because eventually I'll start posting every other day. You'll be like, that's enough. We've had enough stories. But I've got a lot of, yeah, this is something else I want to say. Would you guys watch a story if it were out of season? Like I said, like I've got a story where I'm building a raised bed out of a pallet, and I show you how to do it for like no money, and it looks really nice. It came out good, and I'm thinking, do I hold that story all the way for next spring, or do I drop it in the winter and get it out? And I just don't know. Not sure what people are going to be receptive to in the winter. What do you guys want to see in the winter? And I know you're a couple seconds behind, so I'll get that answer in a minute. Lupo and the Vegan Warrior. You want us to go out? We'll do it. I'll totally do it with you. You want to go into the woods for a month? I would seriously consider doing that. We'll document it. That'd be pretty funny. We could, wonder where, this is what I want to know, Vegan, is, like, where can you go where they would allow you to build something on someone's land and let you, like, live in the woods without, you know, I know they have national forest where you can go disappear and go camping for a few weeks and, like, hike the Appalachian Trail and do that sort of thing. But I don't know where we could actually go where they would let us do that. Or, like, where we could build a little, you know, hut and live in it. I don't know. But one of my goals I was going to work up to was I wanted to hike one state of the Appalachian Trail. So, like, you know, I was thinking of maybe hiking across an entire state of New Hampshire. And if you want to come hike with me across a state, maybe we could meet up and do that, Vegan. We'll make a whole story of, because I think that would only take maybe a week or two to walk across a state. Although I'm not a very good hiker, I need to get better at it. I like it a lot. It's just my feet always get destroyed. I need good shoes or something. I always get blisters. Wait for the seed catalogs and cabin fever for the gardening rollout. All right, maybe I'll hold my gardening stories, but that's what I got a lot of them, man. I guess I could get them all ready for the spring and then just, you know, publish them in the spring. Go ahead and put them up now. So that's a good thing. Okay, well, I think that's it. Everybody is done asking questions, so I'm going to split. If you guys want to go keep chatting, go over to the Discord. I'm sure some people will drop over to the Afterglow chat if you want to say hi over there. I'm going to take a little time before I pop in there later, but I'll probably pop in a little later. That's about it. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for all the advice, and feel free to leave comments if you have any ideas, what you want to see. The big one is what do I give on Patreon? That is bugging me. That's a big reason I haven't done Patreon. I need to go look at some other channels and see what they give away. And then what special things do I do over there without alienating the rest of my audience and having them pissed off that, like, I'm keeping my best stuff for Patreon. So, I'll see you guys over there. Later, everybody. Stay positive, be nice, be good to your cat. Oh, one last thing. Make sure, you know, that if you're going to, because, you know, Christmas is coming up, Black Friday. If you're going to be shopping on Amazon, please go through my link. It makes a huge difference, and especially right now over the holidays. I know people are going to drop some money on Amazon. It costs you no extra money. All you have to do is go through my link at the bottom of this story before you go shopping at Amazon. Don't go to Amazon, then go to my link and go back to Amazon. It doesn't work. You have to remember to go in through my link. It'll take you to like one of my books. Just ignore that and go shopping, and it keeps track of whatever you're getting shopping, and I get a little piece, and it helps the show so much because YouTube money sucks right now, and Amazon is bridging that gap, and I would appreciate it if you'd stay with me and keep remember to go through my link to shop on Amazon for the holidays. It means a lot. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. And it's not only good enough just to subscribe anymore. You got to hit the little bell. That little bell next to the subscribe button. That lets you know whenever I go live so you don't miss these things, because I have not been very good about staying on a schedule, and it doesn't really announce it. It's like you get an email and it's like, hey, Dr. Lupo's on live. And if you don't hit that bell, it doesn't do that. So, oh, wait, there's a question coming in. Robin, you have one last question before I jump out? What are you making, Doctor? Little Arizona. You have a good night. What's the question? I'll wait for your question and then I'll split. So those are some things. Is just make sure you subscribe. That means a lot. A lot of people watching aren't subscribed, which I don't understand how you even know I'm here. And then the other thing is, okay, here's the question. If I buy something on Amazon, should I go through the link for each purchase? My understanding is the way it works is that you get like 24 hours, I think. So the best thing to do is right before you go shopping, come in through my link, buy stuff, and then go. If you like go through my link and then leave it in your cart and go shopping, after so many hours, it doesn't give me credit. Like if you just put a bunch of stuff and go, I'll get to it later, I don't think it gives you credit. So what you have to do is go out, load your shopping cart, and then buy something, then close out the sale, and I believe it'll do the credit. It used to be different where like you could leave it in the cart forever, and they changed all that. So they're making it harder and harder to make money on Amazon. Because I don't do Prime, it's the same cost for multiple items, but would you get more credit? I don't think it matters if you're on Prime or not. Basically, what it used to be based on percentages on what people were buying. I think it was like 2% for electronics and like 3% for food, and like some luxury items was like 9 and 10%, like perfume and stuff. But I think they changed it so it's just 4% across the board now. So if you fill your cart, excuse me, I need a little water. No. Don't go fill your cart and then go to my link and buy. You have to go through my link first, then fill your cart, then buy. If you like fill your cart, then go out and come back in, it doesn't count. The very first thing you have to do is come through my link. And that'll open Amazon for you. You'll look at one of my books I wrote and just ignore the book and start shopping. And then try to make the purchase right then. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you asking questions, and I hope that... Oh, Robin says, no, I buy 10 items. Should I close out each time? I don't know what that means. Oh, if you buy 10 different items, no, I believe as long as it's all the same shopping trip within 24 hours, if you come through my link and you haven't like gone in and out of the browser, it should be the same. I don't think you have to like close the browser and open it back up and close the browser. Put it back up. Mr. Kenny says, go on the Unirock show. Yeah, I'm down with going to Unirock. He's just been playing a lot of games lately. So I keep missing his, I've been traveling and I missed his real shows. Like I said, I want to play a game with him and stream it, but I'm not crazy about the game he plays all the time. I mean, I might get it just so I can hang out with him, but other than that, that'll be it. All right, I'm going to get going. So thank you guys. Remember, go shop by Amazon. It means a lot. And thanks for the donations today for the show. It really helps. Like I said, bridge the gap because YouTube has been a bad boy lately. So, love y'all. Be nice to your cat. Support each other. Stay positive.